Well, hello, tidy gardeners, and what a week it has been. Today is Wednesday. It is a mid-week video update. And really, what's today's subject? Well, let me tell you. I figured I'd bring a bit of an insight into my world for those that might be looking to engage with a new gardener. The reason being that there's a lot of people I'm doing quotes for at the moment are quite clearly uncomfortable with the process of agreeing a price and a schedule. Maybe they've never done it before, maybe it's the first time they've ever had a gardener. Quite often their experience of gardeners has not been really that positive. They get too busy, they don't turn up, they don't know where they've gone, they weren't reliable, that sort of stuff. And so for me, it's quite easy to win business. You've frankly just got to turn up, be nice and do a good job. But that said, people do get busy and people do get forgotten, and what with the weather and life and the price of things, then changing prices and changing dates can obviously have an impact on a service if you are looking for somebody that comes every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. The truth of the matter is though that hopefully if you find a good gardener, they're going to stick with you, and that's my aim. My aim is to find people that I can do gardening for that are sensible to the point that they're flexible if it's raining, or if there's not a lot to do because it's too hot and the lawn doesn't need doing, then they're happy for me to do other jobs. And so far I've been really successful in finding those clients. But the reason for this video is because so many of the people that I meet are clearly very uncomfortable, if not nervous, of having that sort of early conversation when I knock on that door. So I figured I'd just give you an insight as to what's going to happen if you phone me up and expect me to come round your house. Firstly, we're going to have a chat. It's highly likely you will have been recommended. If you've been recommended, you probably had a look at my Facebook page, my business page, so you'll know the sort of guy I am and the sort of work and customers that I'm looking for. You probably have an idea as to where I'm based, i.e. Winnersh, and you know what I look like. You know that it's just me in the company. You know that it's me that's going to come and give you the quote. So there's no secrets here. There's no corporation. There's no team of 15 people that I'm going to farm the job off to. It's just me. So if you're looking for a quote and you're watching this video, then it is absolutely going to be me that turns up. I'm going to turn up on time when I said I would. So if you want me there at 4:30 on a Tuesday afternoon to do a quote, I'll be there as near damn it at 4:30 on Tuesday. I'm very competent when it comes to phone calls, emails, texts and WhatsApps. So if I'm running late, you are going to know about it. You're definitely going to get a message saying I'm running 10 minutes late. And when I do turn up, I'll be in a good mood, I'll be fresh, I'll be friendly, I'll have a business card, a notepad, and my aim is to get to know you as quick as possible to see if you're the right client for me, just as the same way that you're kind of sniffing me out to say, is this the sort of guy that I want to give my gardening work to? But when it comes to negotiation, this is something that people find really difficult. You can see them, how much is your hourly rate? How much is this going to cost? And it's a conversation that they don't really want to have. I've often felt like I've got the order before we've even talked about prices, because they're comfortable with who I am and my skill base and my knowledge and everything I've told them about them. I've been super honest and upfront, but we haven't really even talked about price. And prices do depend on the job in hand. What I'm looking for are local, friendly, approachable customers that will communicate with me well so that I know what I'm doing all the time. I want you to tell me how high you want the bush, not you do what you like. I need guidance to deliver the top service that I'm hoping to deliver. But going back to that point about price, I'll tell you how it's going to work. I'll tell you exactly how I'm going to negotiate with you, if we can call it that, on price. I am going to ask you, what do you think is a fair price? And then I'm going to pause. I'm going to say nothing. Silence is your best friend in sales. Let me give you that tip right now. So when I say, what do you think is a fair price? You've probably thought about it. Now, if you're a bit of a chancer, you're going to go £10 an hour, and I'm going to give you that little bit of silence back and go, I'm probably going to struggle to do it for £10 an hour. I might even crack a joke. If you know anybody that will work for £10 an hour and turned up with an insured van with knowledge that's reliable, that does a good job, let me know and I'll give him a job. And then you're going to realise that you've suggested something a little bit silly. If they really don't have a clue, I'm going to go, well, it's probably not £100 an hour, is it? And they go, oh, I hope not. And then I'm going to say, it's probably not £10 an hour either, is it? And they'll say, no. I say, well, what do you think is fair? And they'll suggest a number, and I'll decide whether that's a good deal for me or not. And that's why I can't give people a fixed price, because I'm happy to do things at a different rate if you've got a gate, if there's no dog shit on the back lawn, if the gate's not locked, if you're a nice person, if you're happy to offer me a cup of tea and a bit of cake, if there's no alarm, if I don't have to carry stuff upstairs, if you say to me, you can come on Tuesdays, but Wednesdays are good as well, all of those things help me think, I don't need £50 an hour for this. This is a £20 an hour job, and she's flexible and I can come when it suits me. So if you have a really strong feeling as to what you should be paying for a gardener, I think it's probably going to hold you back. My advice is ring round a few gardeners, get someone that's local, make sure that they're reliable and they're trusted, and that means it's probably coming from a recommendation, and give them an opportunity to come round and show you what they're all about. So I don't know if that's helped, but hopefully it gives you an insight as to how it works for me. Whatever you think is a fair price is probably a fair price, especially if you're in Winnersh, if you're nice, if you give me cake and biscuits and you're flexible as to when I can come. If you're very rigid about what you're willing to pay, if you say I am paying £30 an hour, what do I get for that? Then I'm going to work out what can I realistically do in probably 50 minutes in light of me loading and unloading the van for the other 10 minutes. And really, there's not a lot you can do for £30. You might be able to buzz a lawn, you might be able to, I don't know, pick up a few leaves, but £30 is a job that is, yeah, frankly, I mean, look, a pizza costs more than £30 and they come on a moped. So if you want me to turn up with tools and do an hour's hard graft and build up a sweat, it's difficult to work for those sort of figures. This isn't me saying I'm not cheap. I've done lots of jobs at a loss. I'm still learning very much. So if you are open to an honest and frank conversation about a job that needs done, if you're happy to pay a fair price, then give me a buzz. And if when you're asking me how much I charge, there's a bit of silence, don't get scared about that. Just embrace it. That's your thinking time. Is this a fair suggestion to cut down this tree for £10 an hour? Probably not. Would he be softened with a nice cup of tea and a bit of cake on a Friday afternoon? Yeah, probably would. Anyway, hope that helps. I'm done for the day. I'm off to the Fox's Den in Binfield to do a little bit of social media. I'll be uploading this video and I'll be super keen to get your feedback on two things. One, does it help you to know how I'm going to negotiate with you? And two, have you watched all of this video? Bugger me, 7 minutes. It's the longest yet. Ah!